DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
A very good afternoon to each and every one of you. You are now watching Road to Success STPM 2020 together with me, your host, Sean Stephen. Now, before we begin, I'd like to remind each and every one of you to always follow the SOPs in place for our fight against COVID-19 and also to flatten the curve, such as wearing the face mask, always or often, wash your hands often, use hand sanitizer, and of course, if you're among other people, be sure that the distance among you and other people is at least 1 meter. Okay, before we begin, again, I'd like to let you know that the subject that we will be covering today is information and communication technology. And we have today with us Dr. Fariza. Hello. Hi, good evening to you.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay, before we begin, before we move further, I'd like to invite you over to the table over there so that we can practice our SOPs.
All right.
Over here, please. Okay.
Is that far enough?
Yes, definitely more than 1 meter. You can use the hand sanitizer.
Okay,
Same goes for me. And right after that, since we are in an appropriate distance of at least, I think we are about 2 meters apart, we can definitely open our face mask right now.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. And for those of you watching at home, don't forget when you're taking off your face mask, do not place them anywhere just like that. No, do not put them on the floor or on the table or even on your head. Make sure you keep it at the appropriate place. For example, right here, I have a special case. As for teacher Dr. Fariza, we actually have a special casing for her as well.
Thank you very much,
So
Sean.
make sure we always keep clean against our battle against COVID-19 and also to flatten the curve.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, now that we have our face mask off, you get to see our faces. Once again, hello, Teacher Fariza.
Hello.
So could you kindly introduce yourself to the audience at home? Obviously, they already saw the profile, but maybe you'd like to add on anything else?
All right. Assalamualaikum and hello, everyone. I'm Fariza from University Malaya.
Yes.
I'm very happy to be here with Sean today.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
No worries.
I'm happy to be with Sean today and with you all.
Yes, that's great. And how long have you been teaching so far?
25 years.
25 years, but you look so young.
Oh, thank you.
And I also saw your tagline, no pain, no gain. Maybe you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, everything that we want, if you want to achieve something,
yes,
you have to actually work at it.
Yes.
Nothing comes free.
That
so
is
no
true.
pain, no gain.
That is true, that is true. And I would like to relate that to the subject of ICT or information and communication technology. Is that subject actually difficult when it comes to STPM papers?
Well, let me say, any subject can be difficult if you don't study.
Okay,
right?
okay.
If you study, it's really not that difficult actually.
Yes,
and it's interesting too because you learn about a lot of things, multimedia, and you learn about information systems which you use every day.
Yes.
So, you know.
All right, definitely looking forward to that. But how about we take a look at what our STPM candidates have to say about this subject?
DidikTV KPM.
I am Lajayu from SMK Sultan Yusof. I am currently the STPM candidates for the session 2021 and 2022. ICT stands for Information and Communication Technologies. Students learn different curriculum from every single semesters. For semester 1, students will learn about ICT and multimedia. For semester 2, students will learn about programming. For semester 3, students will learn about database systems. I encourage students to take ICT subjects because it helps you to master computing skills in the future.
I'm Chao-en and I'm the one of the ICT candidates in this year. ICT stands for Information and Communication Technology. It is an extension term for information technology (IT) that stresses the role of unified communication, the integration of telecommunications, computer, as well as necessary enterprise software that enable the user to access, store, transmit, and manipulate information.
DidikTV KPM.
And there you have it, a video just displaying, also showing the views of the candidate or STPM candidates who will be sitting for the paper this year. So just to relate to what you said earlier, it's definitely not difficult when you actually put the work in, hence your tagline, no pain, no gain, right? But I mean, us humans, we definitely have our, our advantages and disadvantages as well as our weaknesses. So when it comes to this paper, where do you see will be the most weakness that's being displayed by students when answering these questions?
Okay, not just for STPM students.
Yeah.
I think it's quite a general, when people talk about programming,
Yes.
they think it's like a killer subject.
Yeah. Yeah, when I hear programming, I think about codes and stuff. Right?
Yes.
Does that really relate to that?
But actually, if you are into it, it's just actually logic. And it's really fun. Once
Yeah.
you finish, complete a certain program,
Yes.
that satisfaction is really good.
Okay, okay. And I can't wait to see what we'll be learning today. But before that, how about we take a short break and we will be back to you with Road to Success STPM 2020. Stay tuned.
DidikTV KPM.
Tahu
DidikTV KPM.
And we are back for Road to Success STPM 2020 together with me, Sean Steven, and also teacher or Dr. Fariza. All right, so before we begin again, I want to remind each and every one of you to always follow the SOPs in place so that we can flatten the curve and also against our fight with COVID-19, such as using your hand sanitizers. Earlier, I took a short toilet break, hence why I also washed my hands, but this is just in case. Also, wear your mask, and when you're among other people, be sure that the distance among each and every one of you is at least 1 meter. And for today, it's just not the both of us, not just me and also Dr. Fariza. We also have some guest students who are online with us right now. Let's have a look and see who is online. Hi! Hello! Okay.
Hello.
So we have 5 amazing students with us right now. So when I just mention your name, please do introduce yourselves. Okay, we're going to start off first with Liu Tianyi.
Hi guys, good evening to Mr. Sean and Dr. Fariza. I am student STPM 2020. Pleasure to meet you today.
Thank you. And next we have Ng Kai Jing.
Hello, my name is Ng Kai Jing. I come from SMK Sultan Yusuf.
Thank you very much. And next we have Nurul Kistina.
Hi, my name is Nurul Kistina binti Osman Talib. I'm from SMK Sultan Yusuf. Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you. Next we have Anith.
Hi guys, my name is Alia binti Baharudin. I am from SMK Sultan Yusuf. Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Ying.
Good evening to everyone. My name is Wong Chao Ying. I'm from SMK Sultan Yusuf. Nice to meet you guys.
All right, and it's definitely a pleasure to meet each and every one of you. Now, are you ready for our lesson for today? Give me a thumbs up if you are. Okay, yeah. Not too excited, but I guess you'll be more excited when we actually start lesson. Okay, over to you, Dr. Fariza.
All right. Hi, guys. Hi. Oh, I'm supposed to look at that
Yeah.
camera. Yeah. Hi, guys.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. All right. So, without further ado, let's start with our lesson.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's
Okay.
go.
Road to Success STPM 2020 is designed to help students or candidates to make their last preparation
Yes.
before they go for the examination, which is about what, 1 week from now?
Oh,
Okay, so I'm sure they have made all their preparations in terms of content, notes, and everything. But I'm here today to try and share with you some tips and strategy on how to get maximum marks from your answers.
Yes.
All right. So, very quickly, ICT has 3 papers. You all know that. Okay. So, paper 1 in semester 1, paper 2 in semester 2, and paper 3 in semester 3. So we are looking at paper 3 right now, which is regarding information systems and database. Okay, so if you notice, paper 3 is in semester 3, which happens to be the last semester.
Aha,
All right,
okay.
so there is some implication here. It can affect some students. So I don't know whether the students are aware, whether the candidates are aware. It could affect you, I hope not you, but it could affect some students. Maybe Tian Yi, maybe you can share with us if you know any problems that might arise from here.
Yes, we could not receive the paper again.
Yes, you cannot resit the paper again. You see, if with paper 1, if you don't get good grades, you can actually resit and improve your grades, possibly. Same thing with paper 2, but with paper 3, because it is the last semester, last paper, you have no chance to repeat. So that is why preparation for paper 3 is very important.
Yes, that's
all right.
true.
So we want to make sure that you get the best, so that you can do the best for your examination. So no repeat paper, yeah. All right. So when you want to, go into the examination hall, you don't want to be, I don't know what to do, So you want to be sure what you are getting into. Let's look at the format of the paper. The paper is given duration of 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Okay.
Is that enough time, Sean?
It depends on how many questions I have to answer. If it's just one, then I think it should be fine.
If you go and watch a movie, it takes you 2 hours, right?
Yes.
So 1 hour, 30 minutes is not much time. So you need to go in with proper strategy.
Yes.
And ready to go. So you need to know how many sections are there in the question, what kind of, how many questions I need to answer. So very quickly, section A, you have 5 questions.
Okay.
All compulsory, you must answer them. Section B, 2 questions, but you are asked to answer only 1.
Okay.
All right, you have to make a choice. So I hope the candidates are aware of this. Are you okay with that, candidates?
Is it the first time you're hearing about this? I hope not.
Any question? Because we are good. You have to choose only 1 question in section B. Yeah. Oh, I think somebody has raise her hand. Christina,
yes,
is it?
Christina.
Okay, Christina.
Doctor, if I answer the both question in section B, how like that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is a very good question. What if you answer both questions in section B?
Yes.
You see, what will happen is, if you read the question in the question paper, it clearly states explicitly that if you answer both questions, only the first answer will be evaluated.
Okay.
So what happens is, you will lose time. You will be spending 10 minutes on this question and 10 minutes on that question, and 1 question will just be disregarded. So it's best for you to plan and only answer 1 question. Okay? All right. Let's go. What we want to see the distribution of topics for the question paper. All right. So these are the topics that we study in Module 3, information systems and database. So we cover information systems development, we cover SDLC, we cover fundamental relational database, and then we cover. This is a long title, but actually it's database design. Okay, we cover database design and query language. All right. So if we look at this analysis of the last 5 years questions, we will see that most of the question 1 to 5, which is in the section A, are from the first 3 topics. These are topics which covers fundamental concepts, basic understanding. So these are short questions requiring short answers. For section B, which is for questions 6 and 7, most of it will come from the last 2 topics. So these are the topics that will require you to sit down, because this 1 question will cost you 15 marks. 15 marks, right? So you get an idea, which question would be, which question that you would want to spend a little bit more time on. All right, so let's go into the techniques. How do you get marks for your question? Right. My first advice to everyone is read the question. Okay?
Okay.
And then you're looking at me like,
Yeah, I'm waiting for your punchline or something, because you look like you're going to say something.
you know, like, yeah, I'll read the question. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, why would I want to advise you that, you
Yeah.
know? But when you read the question, you just don't read the question. You need to check the marks allocated for that question.
Oh, why is that so?
Okay, we will see later.
Okay.
All right? And then you need to understand what the question wants from you.
All right.
Then you answer the question, and we see this a lot. I think some of the students may be guilty of this. You write unnecessary answers. Okay, so when you write unnecessary answers, you're actually wasting time.
That's true. Okay.
Okay, so, and you have to be alert of the time remaining. So remember, you have 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Yes.
So roughly, you would want to spend 1 hour on the section A and 30 minutes on section B.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how do you know what the question wants from you? A very simple tip is to look at the verb. The question will, there will be a verb in the question. The question is usually phrased, for example, name so-and-so. Name 3 types of something.
Yeah.
Name the phases in SDLC.
Okay.
Okay, so name, namakan, if you're using BM. You
Yes.
know, state, not state of Selangor. Okay, nyatakan. State means nyatakan.
okay,
All
yes.
right. Okay, and you also have describe. Describe is perihalkan.
Yeah.
And explain is
Terangkan, I
terangkan,
think.
jelaskan.
Yeah? Okay, jelaskan,
So because our question is in Dwibahasa.
Yes.
So those who are not comfortable in English may
Yes.
want to look at the bahasa version. So
Yes.
it will be namakan, nyatakan, perihalkan, and jelaskan.
Okay.
And you must also be aware whether the question wants you to give examples or not.
Okay.
Because very easily students miss this out.
Oh.
And marks are gone just like that.
Oh, no.
Okay, so you don't want to make that mistake. All right, so we'll see a sample question.
Okay.
And this is where your question was, why do you need to look at the allocation?
Yes,
And you
yeah.
know what kind of unnecessary answer that can come out? All right.
Okay.
So, I don't know, who can answer this?
Who would like to try?
Kiao Ying, maybe you want to try? Okay.
Chao Ying.
Yeah.
Chao Ying, yes.
What can you get from this question? Okay, because these are the tips, right? These are the tips that you want to look for when things that you want to look for when you are actually looking at the questions. Right? So what can you say? Is this moving? Okay.
Yes. 3 marks allocated and 3 answer is required.
Okay, 3 marks allocated, very clear.
Okay.
Right? 3 answers are required because
Okay.
name 3 types.
Correct.
All right, and the
each
verb
answer
is
would be 1
name.
mark. Okay.
So 3 marks, 3 questions, 3 marks, and you need to give 3 answers.
Yes.
That means 1 mark for 1 answer.
Yes, that's right.
So please don't write 1 whole paragraph.
Okay.
See, and we get this sometimes because students are so excited. Oh, I know information systems. I know, so I want to tell everything that I know. I want to write everything that I know. I want to luahkan, just
like express everything that they know
express everything,
that
right?
they've
So
studied and all.
no need. All you need to do is just give 3 answers. Simple. Name them.
Okay.
1 mark for 1.
So this is more of like a point form rather than a paragraph.
Yes,
Okay.
because this is in part A.
Yeah.
That's why, again, you need to look at the verb.
Okay.
What does it want? Does it want you to explain or does it want you to name?
Okay.
Okay, so this is name. All right. See, another one, simple again, state. State 3 reasons why a manual system should be replaced by a database management system. Okay, so again, look at, so your tip again is how many marks allocated,
Okay.
how many answers you need to give. So in this case, also 3. And what is the verb used? In this case, state. All right, so state, you again don't waste time trying to write long answers because you will only get 3 marks. So if you do this, you will only be using very short time
Yes,
to
that's
answer
true.
those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, 1 hour 30 minutes can be, ample time for you to answer and check your questions.
That's true. Yes.
All right. Okay, so this could be one of the possible answer that you get. You see, 3 reasons. You don't have to explain. You just say lack of security. That's one reason why you should replace a manual system with database management system.
Okay.
You don't have to elaborate, just state.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Okay, now this is something gets a little bit more lengthy.
Okay.
Describe two functions of two different information systems. Okay, how many marks, Sean?
6 marks.
6 marks.
Yes.
How many answers do you have to give?
Now, if I see describe two functions, so describing it would mean that I have to first state two functions and then followed by... Okay, wait, I have no idea what I'm saying. Probably you can get one of the our students that's online to help me out, please.
Help Sean. Somebody help Sean. Anybody?
Who would like to help me?
Anybody wants to help Sean?
Okay, I think Tian Yi is smiling like she wants to help me. Please help me, Tian Yi.
Do you want to try?
Yes, 2 answers, but you have to elaborate the answers.
Okay.
2 answers. Okay, what would the answer be? Because remember, 2 functions of 2 different information systems.
Someone help me.
Okay, it's all right. It's all right.
Okay, maybe I can try now. I can try now. So I would separate it into 2 because there's 2 different information systems.
Correct.
So for each information system, I would have to describe 2 functions.
Yes.
So that would mean in total.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I can sit for STPM now.
All right. Yeah. So so you have 2 different information systems.
Yes.
For each information system, you have 2 functions.
Yes.
So the marks is 6. So you will get 3 marks for one information system and 2 functions. 3 marks for another information system and 2 functions. So you see, then you know what you want to write. Okay, so then you know what you want to write. So you don't, start to, write everything going round and round and then,
Yes.
not getting to the point.
Yeah, we might waste
Alright.
time as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
The objective is to put everything in within that 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Correct.
Okay, so again, how many marks are allocated, how many answers, what's the verb, and for a question like this, you may want to also check. Sometimes they ask you, describe and give 2 examples, for example. Yeah, so you want to see if you need to give examples or not. All right, so as you can see now, it gets a little bit longer because you are describing, you are no longer stating, and you are getting more marks for it. Okay? So that's important. Look at the marks. Sometimes you see students are writing because they know the answer, but that's not what we want. That's not what the question wants. Yeah? All right. Another one. Acceptance testing. It is acceptance testing is carried out to determine that all users' requirements are met. The testing is conducted in 2 stages, alpha and beta testing. Explain the purpose of alpha and beta testing. 4 marks, all right? So where is the verb? Where is the verb?
Let's see whether anyone that's online can help us with
Where
that.
is the verb?
Where
Anyone?
is the verb?
Banyak spot question ni.
That's right. Anith, would you like to try?
Where's the verb? Can I see the question?
Are you able to see the questions on the screen?
Yeah?
Okay, maybe I read it out to you again. Okay, sorry. Yes, Anith.
The verb, remember, name, state, describe, explain. So what is the verb there?
Explain.
Explain,
There we
correct.
go.
Very good, very
Absolutely
good.
right.
Yeah. Okay, so explain is the verb. So
Okay.
when you explain, you cannot just write 1 sentence.
Correct.
Oh, sorry, you cannot write just 1 word. You have to write a full sentence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and in this case, you have 2 answers that you need to give. So
Yes.
1 for alpha and 1 for beta.
Beta.
4 marks meaning 2 marks for alpha and 2 marks for beta. So you can answer something like this. Yeah, the purpose of alpha test is to test the overall system to see whether it meets the design requirements.
Okay.
This test uses simulated data prepared by the tester.
All right.
The purpose of beta test is to test the capabilities of the system in the user environment. And because it is in the user environment, you have to use actual data. Okay, so this is a type of answer that you should give.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, question. Now we're going to section B already.
Section B. Okay, so
yeah.
before we move on to section B, how about we ask any of the students that's online, do you have any more additional questions that you'd like to ask Dr. Fariza? Since she's here and you're online, if you have any questions or any weaknesses or any problems you have faced when you were answering section A, do you have any questions for her? Maybe we can go around and check with each and every one of you. You can start first with Anif. Do you have any questions? Or anything that you faced before when you're answering or doing your exercise or answering questions?
Or maybe, Sean, maybe I can ask them, when you look at the question, what makes you excited? Is it the keyword in the question? Or do you read throughout the whole question and, actually tick, what are the things that I need to answer?
How do you usually answer your questions?
I'm sorry, I need to look at that.
Okay, maybe we can ask, I think Kaijin has been a bit quiet. Kaijin, maybe you can state your views on how do you usually answer your questions. Do you, circle out the keywords, or do you just like, boom, straight away for the answer?
Not sure.
I will read all the questions, then take the keyword.
Okay,
yeah,
very safe answer.
Looking at keyword is one of the things that people usually do. Okay, before I forget, just now we looked at the name, the types of information system.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, the answer would be transaction processing system, expert system, decision support system. Okay, if possible, when you get questions like that, try not to use abbreviation.
Okay.
Okay, try to give the full statement, because if you give abbreviation, and sometimes people do give the abbreviation and then they write the full statement, and the full statement is not correct.
Okay.
So try to be consistent. All right?
Okay. All right, so if there's no questions from our students that's online, how about we take a short break before we move on to section B? Okay. And we'll be coming back to you at Road to Success STPM 2020. Stay tuned.
DidikTV KPM TV KPM.
And we are back with Road to Success STPM 2020 for the subject Information and Communication Technology. Okay, so we just finished part A, or bahagian A. Now we're going to move on to part B. So the floor is now yours, Dr. Fariza.
Thank you, Sean. All right, so earlier what we did was we looked at some sample questions from section A. Okay, remember section A mostly consists of short questions, and you are not required to write essay answers. Your answers should be short and precise. Okay, short and precise. Okay, so if we go to section B, this is where we call it the essay type question.
Okay.
The question can be longer. You need more time to read the question. And you also need more time to actually think and answer the questions. Okay? All right. So again, my advice to you, read the question. So in this case, you need to choose one question or the other.
Okay.
Okay. So read the question, look at it, and okay, which one do I think is better suited for me to answer, to get, what information do I have with me right now that will enable me to answer the question. So choose one question. Like we said just now, if you answer both, you might lose time.
Yes.
Answer the question, and for this section, you cannot memorize your answers.
Oh, no.
See, in section A, most of the questions are theory, concepts, something that you may want to, hafal, memorize.
Yeah, memorize.
Okay? But for this section, the questions will be what you want to apply from what you have learned. So you learn and you understand, now you have to apply that knowledge onto this. So questions like this, like I showed just now, usually come from topic database design, which includes ER diagram, and also normalization. Okay, so from the fifth topic, which is query language. So one of the possible question is to write query language SQL commands.
Oh,
Okay, so no memorization. There's no way, because there are 1,000 different things that you can ask in the command, right? Okay, so again, alert with the remaining time. 1 hour spent on section A, and 30 minutes spent on section B. Okay, so let's look at some example of the question in section B. We will start with SQL. Okay, and SQL, in this case, it says a schema of relation book is given as follows. So if you look at this is actually a relational schema. This is the name of the relation. If you, I don't know if you remember, a relation is actually similar to a table.
Okay.
So you have a table.
Okay.
So a table with all these attributes. So if you draw the table, you will actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns.
Okay.
All right. So so this is your schema of relation. Sometimes the question given to you will be in the form of table itself. So you may get 1 table or 2 tables or 3 tables. Okay. So then, given those information, you will be asked to write SQL expressions or SQL commands for each of this query.
Okay.
Okay. Before we look at the queries and the possible answers, let's look at some tips.
Ooh, tips.
Okay. All right. Remember, just now you are given the relational schema, or even if you are given a table, those already includes attribute. So you want to use the correct attribute name given in the question.
Okay.
Okay, so just now it was given to you book, and then attributes include book, code, and so on. So use those attribute names. Okay, that is because even if you write the correct statement, but your attributes name are wrong, so you won't get any marks.
Okay.
Okay, make sure to select the correct attributes asked in the question. Okay, sometimes the question will not ask you to list all attributes.
Okay.
Sometimes they will selectively ask you to just get certain attributes.
Okay.
So you want to ensure that you select the correct attributes.
Ones, yes.
Another mistake that students usually make is when using the clause where, order, by, they use it in the wrong sequence.
Okay.
There is a specific sequence that you need to follow. So be mindful of that. Also, when you are trying to use data type char, character, or varchar, always use quotes for that.
Okay.
Be careful when using and or operator. When you have a condition, let's say for example, you want to list all students whose name is Sean, and plays soccer. All right. In that situation, you want to use the operation operator and, because you want Sean and
something
playing
else,
soccer.
yes.
But if you say select where name is equals to Sean or play soccer, then you will get everybody who plays soccer, and you will get Sean. Okay, so so that is not the you have to
really
know
sure
the
which
difference.
operator.
Yeah,
Okay.
the difference between that.
All right.
All right. The example I gave you just now has select, has update, and has delete. But sometimes you are asked to create table. To create table. And if you get a question that asks you to create table, this question can give you a lot of marks, because a create table question usually minimum marks would be like 4 or 5. Ooh. So 4 or 5 out of 15 marks is a lot of marks.
Yes, it is.
So if you can master the create table command, and if you are asked that question, you can easily get 5 marks.
Just like that. Oh, nice.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay. So let's look at sample answers.
Okay.
And this is where we can see where the tips come from, right? Okay, so select. In this case, you want to list all books which are located in shelf S, and sort the list according to book code. So here it doesn't tell you how many attributes you need to select. So you can just say select all, in which case is select star. Select star from the book table, the book relation. So you have a condition here, only those located in shelf S. So where shelf is equals to S. And here you use quotes for S because S is a character. S is not numeric.
Okay.
So you use quotes for character and you don't use quotes for numeric.
Okay, got it.
And you need to sort the list according to book code. So you say order by book code.
Okay.
So this is where I mentioned just now. You have to say where first before you say order by.
So that's the sequence you were
Yes, that's
mentioning
the
earlier.
sequence.
Okay.
If you put select star from book, order by book code, where shelf is equals to S, 0 points. All right? You don't get marks for it. Okay, let's look at the next question. Update the status for book B002/01 to available. So this is the data for book code, and this is the data for status. Yeah. So sometimes you need to actually, visualize what data would be in this table.
Okay.
Okay. So when you look at this, you can it cannot be author, it cannot be publisher. So this is most probably a book code.
Yeah,
right. So update book set status to available. Status to available where book code is equals to B002/01. Okay, that is why in section B, you need to put a little bit more thinking into the reading the question and then try to understand. It may not be as straightforward. Okay, so you need to do a little bit more thinking there. All right, next is delete all books which are published before the year 2000.
Okay.
So your answer should be delete from book where year is less than 2000. Before the year 2000 means 1999, 1998, and so on, right? So the year must be less than 2000.
Okay.
What happened if you delete? Okay, what happened if you just say delete from book? And you don't have this where condition. Any idea what will happen? Again, spot question.
Anyone would like to try that? I think I have an answer in mind, but I just want to see. Let's ask the experts.
If you say delete from book and you do not give the condition there, what would happen? Banyak I bagi spot question. Sorry, guys.
Anyone would like to try? Anyone who have an answer? Okay. Yes, Tianyi.
All the information of the table books will be deleted.
Yes, correct.
Is that true? Oh
yeah,
no!
Because you don't give a condition. So when you say delete from book, it will just delete everything.
Oh no!
So where year is less than 2000, that is where it will choose to delete only those books.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Tianyi, for your answer.
Yeah, thank you. All right. I'm sure she is ready for her examination.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, next we'll look at ER. Okay, this is usually a long question.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try to read this and see. Okay, Starbright Sdn Bhd intends to develop a database to store information of employees, departments, and projects. The company consists of several departments. Each department is known by a name, has a department number, and managed by one employee. Each department controls at least one project. Each project has a name, a project number, project start date, and project location. Each employee has an identification number, name, address, salary, and gender. Every employee is assigned to only one department but may work on several projects. An allowance is paid to an employee based on the assigned project. Okay, assume that each project must have at least one employee. Draw an entity relationship diagram which shows the following. So the question, the actual question will be
below. Okay.
And usually it will ask you to draw the diagram, show the entity, show the attributes, show the primary key, and so on.
Okay.
Okay. But this is the case that you are going to work on. So how do you answer this question? Let's look at the tip first.
Yes, please.
Long question.
Yes, it is.
30 minutes on this question. Can you imagine that's why you need 30 minutes
Exactly.
for section B? All right. First, you must use the correct symbol. All right. Meaning, for each entity, relationship, there are certain symbols that you want to use, and those symbols are, those symbols follow either the Chen or the Crowfoot notation. So there is notation that you have to choose. Sometimes we see student candidates mixing the two notation together. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Use one notation consistently.
Okay.
All right.
What happens if they use two notations at the same time? Will that reduce the marks? Oh,
yes.
no. Okay.
Minus marks.
Oh,
Minus
okay.
marks. All right. Name each entity with the correct attribute. So, in the question, you already know what are the entities, and most of the time the attributes are given. So, use those attributes given in the question. Don't make up your own attributes unless the question does not tell you the attributes explicitly. Then you can come up with your own attributes. Okay, and if the question asks you to, you need to state the primary key. You need to indicate in your diagram what is the primary key for each of the entity. Use the attribute name that is given in the question, if any. Okay, and sometimes the question would give you a specific attribute name. Attribute name will be something like EMPNO or STDNO.
Okay.
EMPNO would mean employee number. STDNO would mean student number. So it will sometimes it explicitly give you those attribute names. So use them. So that's why you need to read and see whether and look at these tips and see whether any of these apply. Important is label each relationship and connectivity. Okay, this one a lot of students forget. When you draw the relationship between two entities, you always forget to label them. So you have to label them, because sometimes, as we will see in the answer later, we have two entities having two different relationships. So you need to label which relationship is for what.
Yes.
Okay. So if there is any composite or bridge or associate entity, this is the same thing actually. Sometimes you call it composite, sometimes you call it bridge, sometimes you call it associate entity. If there is attribute that is associated with this, then you need to show it in your ER diagram also. Okay. Now, what do I have here? Okay, I have the answer no. I want to go back and... So what do you do when you get this type of question? When you're reading it, what you can do is first figure out what are the entities in this question.
Okay.
So while you're reading it, maybe you can underline or mark in your... So what are the entities here? Employees, departments, projects. All right?
Okay.
So when you start, I already have these three entities. All right, now maybe what you can do next is actually look at which entities has relation with which entities.
Okay.
Then you get a clear picture first. So you have three entities. What are the relationships? So let's look. Department managed by employee. So there is a relationship between department and employee. Okay, so you have to do that, and this would be an example of an ER diagram.
Okay.
Who knows what notation is this? Who knows? Maybe our students can answer. What notation is this?
Well, I think Anis wants to answer.
Yeah. Okay. Anis?
I think it is a Crowfoot.
Yes, this is a Crowfoot.
Okay.
Okay. So when you drawing in the Crowfoot, please don't add Chen notation into it. Okay. Good job, Anis. All right. So we also have a normalization, and I don't have a sample question for this, but I have some tips for it.
Oh, that's great.
So most importantly, when you are doing normalization, again, use the attribute names given and identify the primary key. So usually if your primary key is a composite key, you probably have a partial dependency. That is always the rule of thumb. If you have a composite key for the primary key, then you probably have a partial dependency. Okay, and then when you perform your normalization, write the complete schema for each relation. So when you do a normalization, you are going to get new relation. Write the complete schema for each relation, and if you are from, let's say, from second normal form to the third normal form, if there is no change of schema for the relation from the previous normal form, just rewrite the same schema again, okay, in the normal form. So don't just write the two new relation and then leave out the rest. No, you have to write all the relation, even if there is no change. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So
that's it for, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So overall preparation, anything you would like to add? Or maybe you could just summarize our program for today as well as... Yeah.
All right. What I would say is, when you go into your examination hall, don't rush. You know, don't rush. Don't get panicky. Don't start writing just because you want to start writing. You have 1 hour for section A, 1 hour, 30 minutes for section B, and use those minutes, those precious minutes correctly and usefully.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add before we end?
Actually,
okay. So
I have some overall preparation. But before I say something, maybe our student want to share something. What do they do for in preparation to sit for an exam? Anyone?
Okay, we have Kai Jing. Okay.
I will take a deep breath and motivate myself. You can do it and just try your best. This can increase your confidence before you sit for the exam. Then you will keep calm as well.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, basically you have to prepare mentally, right?
Yes,
you have to go in, you have to be positive about it. You cannot go and say, this is a killer subject. No, you cannot go in and say, this is a killer subject. Definitely you get killed.
Yep, that's true.
All right, so don't panic. No, just go in, manage your time to study important contents. Like we've seen the distribution of the topics, and you kind of get you get an idea of which topics are more popular. Try to study past year's questions. Get enough rest. Eat healthy. This is not the time to diet.
Yeah. So you need your energy to answer the questions.
When you go for examination, you don't want to diet, and then you want to eat healthy and adequate amount of food.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Fariza, for your kind words and also for sharing all the tips that we need for STPM 2020, especially for the subject of information and communication technology. And of course, special thanks to our guests that's online right now, Kai Jing, Nurul Christina, Chow Ying, Tian Yi, and of course, Anit Alia. Thank you so much for joining us. And for those of you watching at home, for those of you who's going to sit for this paper on the 7th of April, all the best to you. And if you are continuing or you're going to watch, or make sure you tune in to the next program, because after this, we will be continuing with the subject per account. Stay tuned. And this was Road to Success STPM 2020.
DidikTV KPM.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Baharudin bin Inta Abbas, bapa kepada anak saya Anis Aliyah binti Baharudin. Dengan ini berdoa semoga anak saya dapat menjawab peperiksaan STPM yang akan dihadapinya sedikit masa lagi. Semoga keputusan yang dicapai adalah keputusan yang memperangsangkan. Semoga ia dapat melanjutkan perjalanan ke Menara Gading yang lebih sukar lagi. Dan semoga apa yang diceritakan olehnya mendapat kerjaan yang cemerlang.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Cikgu Eni Zawati daripada SMK Sultan Yusof mengajar subjek ICT. Banyak yang telah dihadapi oleh pelajar tingkatan 6 kali ini. pelbagai cabaran yang menduga mereka, tetapi cikgu pasti para pelajar mengambil pencabaran ini sebagai peluang, bukan halangan untuk berjaya dalam peperiksaan STPM semester 3 yang akan datang. Cikgu doakan semua pelajar berjaya dengan cemerlang. Rabbi yasir wala tu'asir. Sekian, terima kasih.